So in my honours, I was like, let's care a little less about that first one and care more about these other ones.
Okay.
And then I just picked a system that's different. I chose 22 steps to an octave rather than 12, a little more complicated. And then I was like, okay, now that I have that, how can I make like Bach style, like just not just Bach style, like Western style, what's called harmonic tonal music, or basically music with chord progressions and like a home key, like all pop music today, basically, and all classical music. It follows this particular method, which makes it really like Western music. I'm like, how can you do that, but with a different set of notes? So I picked these 22 notes, and then I wrote about what scales you can use and what chords you can use and what chord progressions you can use, which are basically the building blocks of music as we know it in the West. And it's not that I'm not interested in music from other cultures. Obviously, that's really important in getting to these other notes. But I really like harmony, basically. So I was saying, how can I get harmony using these other notes? And that's what I wrote about.
And so these other notes, so what you're optimizing is that second bit and trying to better approximate that and still be able to create the music that we create in the West using the optimization.
Yeah, so there's that. And then I also get approximation of the next two up as well. So there's, in terms of the harmonics that add complexity to the system, or like the next things, there's the octave, which is already there, the perfect fifth, the major third. That's where Western music stops. Perfect fifth, really well approximated. Major third, not so well. So then my system was like, well, I mean, I didn't come up with 22 equal divisions of the octave, but my system was, the fifth is still important, but not as much. That second one, the major third, we want that to be more in tune. But then also we want approximations of the next one up, the 7, because 6 is just twice 3, so we already have that. And then 11 is the next prime number above that, so I also get approximations of those. So I see it as like way more possibilities. It really opens up possible sound world. You can write consonant or pleasant sounding music that's just so different to what we have today. And there's way more possibilities for scales and these other things that are important in music, because there's more notes. It's more complicated, but there's more possibility in it, and that's what I wrote about.
Right. So do you have any of this music that you've made?
Yeah, I've got a SoundCloud. And
could
it's
we possibly
a
play
plug.
Oh,
you want to play it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't have to do it now. I mean, like, but in the post edit, we'd like to.
Yeah. Let's play it now. Yeah, no. I've got a SoundCloud page where I have just a few of my experiments. I've written a lot more about it than I have written music in it. I do like to write music, and it's important to do that. But I haven't had as much time for that. But I do have some examples of experiments I've done on my SoundCloud page. Some, unfortunately, are not recorded, some songs that I've written. And then along with those examples of SoundCloud, I have like a huge page of theoretical sort of description on there as well.
Hey, nice. Yeah, what type of instrument do you use to actually...
Yeah, now that's a really important thing, because instruments are all built to the tuning system that we have. Well, not all, I mean, all Western instruments, apart from, like the voice is one thing, so I do sing. But then it's hard to sing these intervals between the cracks, because...
Right, it's hard to distinguish.
Yeah, and you've got and you haven't practiced singing those, and you've got you don't, like other instruments, you press a button and the right sound comes out. Pianos is actually pretty easy, because you can just retune them with software. Not acoustic pianos, but electric pianos. So that's a lot of the stuff I do is me playing on a keyboard. I've also built some whistles, like tin whistles, like little Irish flute type things. And I built those to play in these different scales. So one or two of the recordings I'm playing, a few of the recordings I'm playing these whistles.